Live from Panther Field in Melbourne on the campus of Florida Tech, it's Florida Tech Panther Lacrosse, the 2023 season opener as the Panthers host the Tampa Spartans. And it was a good afternoon, everyone. Jerry Durney here with you on the Florida Tech Digital Network. Panthers opening the 2023 campaign, the second year under Brad MacArthur after a strong 2022 in which they went 10-6 and reached the SSC semifinals. But they will face quite the challenge this afternoon in a very good Tampa team who will enter today as the reigning national champions coming off a perfect 21-0 season. Naturally, they're the preseason number one in the country. And talking yesterday with Brad MacArthur and getting ready for this game, he said, this is a very good test for us to have right off the bat. For all the work that we've done since the end of last season, through the fall, and since we've come back from winter break, we're going to find out right away where we are. And his exact quote was, Tampa are the bar, and they've been the bar for this league in a long time, pretty much since the league came into existence back in 2014. So here's the starting lineups this afternoon. First, for the defending national champion Tampa, under the guidance of J.B. Clark, who helped keep the dynasty rolling and earn their first national championship last year. In goal is Blake Ulmer, and he was very pivotal in the regular season meeting here last year. In front of him in defense, it'll be Gunnar Koval, and he'll be joined as well by Gunnar Gebeline, along with Braden Crumey. In the midfield, it'll be Alex Poma along with Charlie Bullish. They'll have two LSMs, and that'll be joined by Brady Stoll and Matthew Badeau. And in attack, it'll be Harry Kilkowski along with Luke McEnany. Give you the Panther lineup in a moment. On the faceoff, it'll be Alex Poma. Facing off for Florida Tech, it'll be Cooper Leonard, a junior transfer from Mount St. Mary's, taking over this year. So we'll see a variety of those in the faceoff circle as we are underway here in Melbourne. First of 6 home games here at Panther Field in 2023. Panthers wearing their home white, Tampa in their road red uniform top with black shorts. Florida Tech will be going right to left on your screen here in this first quarter. Starters for Florida Tech, we mentioned Cooper Leonard will be the faceoff specialist. In goal today, it'll be Jax Francisco, the sophomore from Westminster, Maryland. That's going to be one of the interesting questions to be filled this year for Florida Tech. Of course, they had a phenomenal effort last year out of Johnny Holzman. He was here on 1 year as a grad transfer from Marquette. So Brad MacArthur said expect to see more this year than you normally would in the cage. So they'll be giving quite a few different attempts. So we'll see quite a few different looks, more than you would expect to see. In front of him in defense, it'll be J.P. Panchukian, Riley Wagner, and the big one, Sam Balch got the extra year of eligibility, which is so key for them. Balch, along with Josh Vetter last year and Cole Marini, formed a tremendous front in front of John Holzman, joined by Austin Engler as well. We'll see him throughout the year. The lone midfielder today will be Brett Nastos. Expect to see the LSM will be Connor Young, who saw plenty of time last year. And in attack, Nate DePlanky, and of course joined by the 2 preseason All-Americans. That'll be Zach Rosgani and Colin Stewart. Panthers with their first real look in this one, and this is Luke Pollock, a transfer from Jacksonville. Multiple Division I transfers on this Panther roster that we'll see throughout the year. Panthers do have 25 to shoot here. This is Jacob Turpak. Swings over here for Pollock with under 20 to shoot. Plenty of coverage provided by Brady Stoll. A lot of traffic here for Colin Stewart. That one hit off the crossbar. I don't think Ulmer knew anything about it. DePlank with the rebound. I think that might have been guided away by Ulmer. I don't know if that was necessarily a shot on target, though. Panthers will keep it with 6 to shoot. Roz will bring it in. They'll have to work quickly. The pass for Turpak was wide, and that will be a shot clock violation for Florida Tech. So we are just over 2 minutes in. It's been one of 6 home games this year, one of 3 non-conference games. We'll see Wentworth Institute of Technology here on March 6th. And then about 2 weeks after that, we will see Colorado Mesa. Panthers did enter into the top 20 in the preseason national rankings. Again, a good year last year, 10-6, 5-2 in the league, and reached the SSC semifinals. The one problem? 3 of those losses were Tampa, which will happen. And they have been the class of the league really since its inception. Last year, their best year yet. Tampa won the regular season meeting, the non-conference meeting in Tampa in March in double overtime. And a couple weeks later, they met here in a conference-sanctioned game. Tampa won that one 14-11. But really, the star of that game was Blake Ulmer, who stopped several point-blank shots and really was the difference in that game. And then Tampa won the SSC semifinal in April, and they're on the board first here. And that's Harry Kilkowski. We'll put that one in. Graduate student, I should say, from Summit, New Jersey. And the Spartans lead with 2 minutes and 56 seconds off the board here in the first period. Already a 1-0 Tampa lead. Kilkowski last year, a 66-point season, 27 goals and 39 assists. And they got work to do. They lost their top scorer, Colin White. They bring McEnany back, who had 48 goals. We'll expect to see Daniel Fitzpatrick as well today, who had 39 goals last season. I mean, the Panthers were pretty blessed last year, having Zach Rozgani score 46. Tampa had it in bunches, and they nearly get one back right away. That would have been Gavin Wessel. Had it on a bounce, and I think Ulmer might have got to stick to that. Tech will play it back in thanks to Colin Stewart. And Stewart and Rozgani named preseason All-Americas. Third year in a row the Panthers have had one. Last year it was Josh Vetter. The year before that it was Reed Jaconis. Roz with 46 last year to set the single-season program record. And the big question coming into 2023 is, how do you beat that? Well, anything we've seen from Roz in these first 2 years, I feel pretty good he can. This is Cam McKee, a junior transfer from Susquehanna. The point, swing that around, shot from the side there. I believe that was DePlank. No, that was Roz. Shot went wide, but the Panthers had the last man to it. DePlank will play this in with 34 to shoot. 17th all-time meeting between the two. I mean, it was a good look for Stewart, just a bit high, and he was hassled there by Gebelin, graduate student out of Baltimore. 20 to shoot for the Panthers. Justin Cart, one of the new faces this year. This is McKee. Roz going to try a wraparound and very nearly beat Ulmer in the process. Panthers will have to play it out from the back with 8 to shoot. Stewart will play it in. To be on all the time against Tampa, 500 miles an hour, or that will happen. And just like that, the Spartans back in front, 2-1. Kind of an ideal afternoon here for lacrosse here in Melbourne. Looking at a game time temperature around 71. A few clouds, but we don't expect any rain until well later tonight, which is good because we have the women's opener later this evening against Flagler. It is a little bit windy, which we did expect. Winds gusting out of the east, almost 20 miles per hour, gusting to about 25. Panthers have some work to do, as that's going to be Luke Pollock, a graduate student. We mentioned a transfer from Division I Jacksonville University, originally out of Cedar Park, Texas. Here's Roz again, and you know the Tampa game plan squarely focused on him. Cowan plays it over for Turp. He's going to be covered by A.J. Pascarella, and the shot saved by Ulmer. One of the best individual game performances I've ever seen on this field, home or visitor, was last year. I'll tell you, I think if almost anyone else had been in goal for Tampa besides Blake Ulmer, Florida Tech would have won that regular season meeting last year here. But Blake Ulmer, and when you look by his numbers, I mean, I would say he played out of his skin, but that's what he does. You know, you don't go 21-0, and especially playing in this conference, and then you go into the national tournament. You don't do that if you have a liability in net, and they don't. Because whatever the antonym is for liability, Blake Ulmer is that in net. Tampa looking for something here, and a nice save made. First save for Jax Francisco, the sophomore out of Westminster, Maryland. And Brad MacArthur said, you know, we're going to see multiple looks this year in goals for multiple guys. Well, Jax Francisco is the one who's going to get the start right away, and can't really fault him for the first 2 goals for Tampa. but made the stop there when called upon, as Tech will keep possession with 7:52 to go here in the first quarter. By the way, that was career goal number 62 for Zach Rosgani. He's currently 7th on the all-time list here at Florida Tech. He needs 11 more to catch Nick Wynn and Brian Baccarella for 5th. Of course, the record holder, Reed Jaconis, at 106. Here's DePlank. Card. And that'll be a turnover, as that's going to be picked up by Matthew Bedeau. Bedeau, a senior out of San Diego. And Tampa, just like that, into the attacking third. With it here is Jackson Day. Welcome back here on the Florida Tech Digital Network. Jerry Durney here with you as we start the second half. We appreciate you sticking with us through the first half. Tampa leading 7-4, and really what a big sequence there at the end of the first half as a Zach Rosgani goal was waved off, and then Tampa scoring right on the buzzer from Jackson Day, a big one there where it looked as if for the briefest of moments Florida Tech was going to be going into the break just down one. Instead, they'll now face a 3-goal deficit. But Tech did a lot of good work there in that second period, and already very physical play here in quarter number 3 as we start. Florida Tech in their home white uniforms, the crimson lettering and numbering. Tampa wearing their road red with black shorts and the white lettering and numbering. Panthers going right to left on your screen here in the third quarter. Panthers with 3 of their goals supplied by Zach Rosgani. So Zach Rosgani just picking up right where he left off. And that is his 13th career hat trick. That is tied, or not tied, it is the 4th most in program history already. And he's not far off the record. Logan Sweeney has the record with 15. Andrew Conley and Reed Chaconis with 14 as Turpak takes quite the hit there from Jackson Day, and the flag is out, and the Panthers are going to play a man up here. We mentioned Logan Sweeney with 15 hat tricks, Andrew Conley and Reed Chaconis with 14, and then Zach Rosgani with 13. I have a feeling that we'll see that number fall by season's end, at least. But for Florida Tech, we are 59 seconds into the third quarter, and they're going to be a man up as Jackson Day will take the penalty. The 4th goal came courtesy of Nate DePlanke, which is his first of the season. I mentioned last year for Nate, who had trouble finding space in that Florida Tech attack, between, you have the likes of, the Stewarts and Williams and Bennett Duffy as well. Nate had 11 last year, so already off to a good start this year. So it is a 2-minute penalty. So this is a Florida Tech, if you want to cash in at least one. This is a big spot here for Florida Tech if they're going to get back in this game. And they were oh so close to doing just that right there at the end of the second. Well, here's how you get it back. It'll be 60 to shoot when we start. 14:01 on the game clock here in quarter number 3. As we come up on 5 o'clock, we did shorten the halftime a little bit. And part of that is sunset is scheduled for a little bit after 6 p.m. this evening. And we don't have lights here at Panther Field, so they're doing what they can to beat sundown. Roz will feed Colin Stewart. And another save by Omer. Rebound scooped up there by Justin Cart. Cart, a junior from Schuylerville, New York. Transfer from Division I Drexel out of the CAA here in Philadelphia. Stewart feeds Roz again. It's matched up by Cannon. Loose ball going to be picked up there by Gary Lazito. Sophomore from Pecog, New York. Cart. You swing over now for Turpak. Had to deal with the big fella Geblin. Back out it goes for Colin Stewart. 26 to shoot. Cart plays it back. The feed here, it's Turpak. Into the middle it goes for Rosgani. He's going to have to find his way through a lane and got deflected. I don't even think Omer ever had to make the play on that. 15 to shoot as Cart will play it back in. They're joined by Pollock. Over it goes for Pollock with 10 on the shot clock. Back it goes to Stewart. Here's Rosgani. Going to be pushed further out from goal. He's about 15 yards away with 3 on the clock. They're going to have to fire quick. Pollock lost it, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. So a minute off that 2-minute penalty already gone. The penalty was a cross-check followed by an illegal body check. And for Florida Tech, that one hurts. You absolutely wanted to get one back on the board here and at least make it a 2-goal game. Tough enough to beat Tampa at even strength. You definitely want to get one with a man down. This is Kilkowski, who had Tampa's opening goal. McElhaney had 2. So did Bedow. We mentioned Day right there at the end of the half. Fitzpatrick with 1 as well. And The one by Pascarella late in the first quarter off the turnover. Under 30 to shoot here for the Spartans. Swing over for Owen Miller. He's away from one and a whistle. And we had some late contact at the end of the play there. And is that going to be a penalty on Balch? Boy, all kinds of whistles, and I'm not sure the officials are on the same page here. I mean, it is a fair point that there was a shot after the whistle blowing the play dead, and Balch is playing that like it's like play still going. And that does feel like a bit of an unfair penalty on Sam Balch. I mean, the play was dead, but Tampa continued to proceed as if the play were still live, so that's a tough draw for Balch. So he'll have to sit. And that's going to be a 30-second penalty for unnecessary roughness at 11:40. So the Panthers are going to have to work here for the next 25. McEnany. And now for Bashaw. Hilkowski behind the net. Plenty of room to work here for Birch. And a point-blank attempt, and more good work there from Jack Francisco, and that better be something. There it is. Boy, just getting run over there was Elliot Yaku. And the play's still going down here, but the whistles were very, very obvious. So was the flag. And I'm quite befuddled myself. Well, we do see Fitzpatrick going over. He hasn't taken the knee yet to indicate he's taking the penalty. It should be. I mean, he left his feet there. In the NFL, that's 15 yards. Yeah, we haven't seen anybody yet, but play is stopped with 11:12 to go here in the third quarter. Tampa leading 7-4. Well, now it appears serving it will be Braden Williams. Well, that definitely wasn't who committed it. That I know. Oh, Florida Tech will have the advantage here. And they'll start in Spartan territory. Turpak will walk it up. Face to face with Day. DePlank probably about 30 yards out from goal here. We'll wait to see the official designation on that penalty. DePlank plays it over for Colin Stewart. Now Turpak. I was looking to make his cut. Instead, I think they were trying to feed Stewart. A lot of contact there, but legal. And that's going to be a lot of work there for Gebelin. Boy, Carr took his bill. Panthers got it back. And did Ross find his way through? He did! And I'm waiting for that to officially stand, and it is. The Panthers have had 2 goals wiped out today. Zach Rosgani not to be denied. That's his 4th. And it's 7-5. That is career goal number 65 for Zach Rosgani, and it's a 7-5 game. So the Panthers will get it with the man up. A big one there. And with 10:25 left in the third, it's 7-5. 65 goals now for Zach Rosgani, and he has 91 career points. He would become the 7th player in program history with 100. Moore still has a ways to go to track down the record set by Justin Williams last year. A lot of action going on in front of the Panther bench. And out of the pack with it for Florida Tech will be Gavin Wessel. But he wasn't out of the woods, and he's going to be stripped by McEnany. Wessel's still in the mix there, and scooped up there by Pascarella. Yeah, but trying to slow everything down, and they get it to Poma. So a 4-goal day already for Rosgani, and well, for Florida Tech, they do have a lot of attacking options and a lot of good attacking options at that. Well, usually if Florida Tech's going to be in position to win a game, it's going to look like that on the score sheet. Whistle blown by Miller here. They're immediately able to cut that lane off. There's Bolish away from Engler for just a moment. He'll fire. Went upper left corner. And I don't know if Jack Francisco saw that. He might have got screened there. Not a whole lot he was able to do there. And it's Tampa 8, Florida Tech 5 with 9:16 to go here in the third quarter. We've seen some good effort so far from both goalies. Francisco with 8 saves. Blake Ulmer has 12. Again, you didn't really see a lot of goalie play last year for Florida Tech outside Johnny Holzman, and with good reason. Johnny had a fantastic campaign in 2022, so that was the big question. As I think we have some questions here at the face-off circle. But for a lot of, I think one of the big questions going into 2023 is, well, how do you replace someone like Johnny Holzman? And Brad MacArthur said, well, we're going to get multiple guys looks. Well, Jack Francisco, I think, is making a pretty convincing case here, at least from what we've seen today. This is picked up by Poma. He'll try to take it himself all the way. Bit too high and to the right. And Tampa will keep possession. Kilkowski to play it back in. Met by Balch. Panthers don't have another home game until after today, until Monday, March the 6th. They'll host the Wentworth Institute of Technology, a Division III school up in New England. The Panthers have 6 home games here this year, 3 in non-conference play, including today. They'll also see Colorado Mesa in mid-March, which was a very good matchup between 2 ranked teams last year. Pretty strong check there from Bolish. Lays off here from Miller. I'll tell you, putting in work there was Brett Nastos. And that's going to be a push against Tampa, and it'll be Florida Tech possession with 8:16 to go here in the third quarter. And the Panthers finished inside the top 15 last year in the country in the postseason poll. And the tournament field a little smaller in the men's side for lacrosse, and it doesn't take away from what was a very good campaign. Matter of fact, the Panthers will be off for 2 weeks after today. See them back out on the field 2 weeks from tonight. They'll go up to St. Augustine to take on Flagler. Be the second ever meeting between those two. First meeting in St. Augustine. And then they're off until March 6th. They'll be back here to take on the Wentworth Institute of Technology. And they go to Lenore-Rhine. They'll actually play that game in Durham, North Carolina. Then a trip to Barton College, and then back here for Colorado Mesa on the 18th. And that'll conclude non-conference play. Quite the run here from Pollock. Tried to go behind the back, and a late flag. Well, now, who is the penalty here? I think that might be on Tech. It was very late. I see Griffin Martin coming off, and I see DePlanky as well. And that's going to be on Tampa. That's going to be on Bedau. So another opportunity for Florida Tech to get one back with the man advantage. They've already done that once here in the third. And it's going to be a 1-minute cross-check on Bedau. Imperative for Florida Tech to get one here. Pollock. And now Stewart. Roz out on the right, plays it into the middle for Pollock. Stewart will fire. Oh, boy. Put that one right over the right shoulder of Ulmer. Just froze him. A bullet from Colin Stewart. And it's an 8-6 game, and Colin Stewart has his first of the season. I didn't know we had a laser show out here today. Colin Stewart backing up that preseason All-America tag, and that was an All-America type goal right there for the junior from Westminster, Maryland. It is 8-6, and it is still very much a game. Tech will open conference play on Saturday, March 25th at St. Leo. Then they'll be back here the following Saturday, April 1st against Lynn. These two teams will play again on Wednesday, April the 5th in Tampa. Then on Saturday, April 8th, Palm Beach Atlantic comes here. And the Panthers will go to Embry-Riddle on Wednesday, April the 12th. Then on Saturday, April the 15th, they'll go to Lakeland to play Florida Southern. And then the regular season will wrap up here on April the 22nd, Saturday, for Senior Day against Rollins. This is actually going to be the last season of Panther lacrosse here at Panther Field. That was quite the try there from Noah Stetcher. Left his feet. I think that took a bounce off the ground and then off the post. I don't know if Omer got to that initially. As we did release earlier this week, Rick Stotler Field will be turfed over the summer. And DePlanky, how in the world from that angle to get it there? And he beat Omer in the process. That was just on the inside of the near post. That is not an easy angle. Well, if he needed proof that, we'd heard so many good things about Nate DePlanky and how much he's improved, I think we have it. My goodness. Nate DePlanky with his second of the day, and it's 8-7 with 5:58 to go here in the third. We have a game now. 8-7 as that's going to be scooped up by Brian Barlotta, another transfer from Mercer. Played it back over there for Riley Wagner. It was announced earlier this week that Rick Stotler Field, which serves as the Panthers soccer field, will be getting turfed over the summer. That'll become an artificial turf surface. Women's lacrosse will be playing their home games this year, but starting next year, Rick Stotler Field will be the home for both Panther lacrosse teams. So that project will start getting work done once the lacrosse season is over there in late April. And they hope to have that ready in time for the soccer seasons, which will kick off either in late August or early September. But the Panther men's lacrosse program will move their games over there in the 2024 season. It'll be the fourth home already for the Panther men's lacrosse team, which started in 2012. Of course, their first three seasons, they played just down the street at MCC. And then they moved down a little bit further. Starting in 2015, they played 2 seasons at Palm Bay High School. And then they've been here at the backyard since the start of the 2017 season. 17 to shoot here for Florida Tech. We're looking to tie. Cart over for Roz. Coming up on 10 to shoot. He's got to deal with Gebwin. Back over it goes for Cart. Spartans doing a great job of closing the passing lanes with 5 to shoot. Cart's got to let it go. Over to Turpak with 2. He's got to fire. He does. I think I might have been going wide anyway, but Omer was not going to take any chances. And an errant ball, that very nearly could have been something. Room to run here now for Badeau. This is Pascarella. He's already got one today, being hounded by Connor Young. Moves into the long stick midi roll this year. We'll expect to see plenty of time split between him and Austin Engler, who it was part of the defense last year that did such a great job for Florida Tech. You know, we talk about Bulch, Vetter, and Marini. Austin Engler was a big part of that too. This is Bolish being shadowed by Nastos. Sophomore out of Sykesville, Maryland. He'll make the run through. Try to wrap around, and he was picked up by J.P. Panchukian. 23 to shoot. J.P. doing a great job here against Bolish. The lanes keep getting cut off, and Balch kind of joining the party there as Kilkowski comes over in support. 12 to shoot. And it's been a great shift put in here by Panchukian. Kilkowski's going to fire, and another stop there by Francisco. 2 to shoot. Tampa's got to hurry, and they will not get it off. It would have been wide anyway, but a great effort there in the last 80 seconds by the Panther defense. And especially salute to J.P. Panchukian, who assumes one of the 2 defensive starting spots that were left by veteran Marini. Great effort there for the senior out of Davie, Florida, who originally came here to play football. Matter of fact, he originally was coming here as a 2-sport athlete. He was going to play both. But he's really become an active part of the defense the last couple of years here at Florida Tech, and it stays an 8-7 game as the fourth quarter creeps up. Roz over to Noah Stetcher. Both teams resetting. Stetcher will do the same. There's the run by Cannon. They feed here for Griffin Martin. Hellfire, another save from Ulmer. And the rebound is going to be immediately picked up by Braden Crumey. And for Blake Ulmer, that is his 14th save of the game. Francisco just made his 9th. And for 8-7, it's not often you can say that you're seeing a goalie duel, because that is what's happening here. Kilkowski stranded out on the right there. He's going to be met by Balch. 1:59 to play here in quarter number 3. Tech leading, or Tech trailing, I should say, 8-7 against the reigning national champions, who have won 21 in a row. Spinning away from Engler there for a minute was Miller. They'll move it around pretty quickly. This is Bolish. And back it goes to Fitzpatrick. He'll take a run. He'll fire wide. Pressure applied there by J.R. Radoon, sophomore out of Haymarket, Virginia. Under 90 seconds here in the third, under 20 on the shot clock. Back it goes to Bolish. They set up for Miller. Engler will pick him up. They'll fire. They'll try to get it right on the doorstep, and they do for Kilkowski. That's his second of the day. And the Spartans restore a 2-goal lead with 1:13 to play in quarter number 3. Seeing plenty of athletic support down there on the north goal. As there's the women's lacrosse team. Again, they'll be playing at 7:30 tonight, their 2023 opener against Flagler. You're seeing quite a few from the baseball team as well, who wrapped up a series win over 12th ranked Wingate just before we started today. At the face-off circle there, and it's won by Hunter Turner, graduate student from Tampa, another transfer from the University of Jacksonville. Panthers have actually won 11 of the 18 face-offs today. And it's been a new look. As down the stretch last year, we saw a lot of Jack Moranto, and we graduated Ethan Tashev. But so far today, it's mostly been Cooper Leonard. Inside the final 40 seconds of the third quarter. Now we have a number change for Tampa because I don't have an 18 on my roster. They're going with it here is Nick Papa. Transfer from IMG Academy. It's going to be picked up by Wessel. Coming up on 15. And they can run this down. The shot clock is behind the game clock. So Tampa can play this all the way down if they choose. The fire and the shot is wide. Tampa had one more man back, and that was Birch. 6.3 seconds in the quarter. Tech have to hold strong here in the final moments. The shot will be wide, and that will end the third quarter. The Panthers score 3, but Tampa do get a late one to at least give themselves some cushion as we head towards the final 15. We've played 3 here at Panther Field. It's number 1 Tampa 9, Florida Tech 7. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is Panther Lacrosse on the Florida Tech Digital Network. It's 10, but he's at 9. And welcome back here on the Florida Tech Digital Network. Jerry Durney with you as we go to the fourth quarter at Panther Field. Panthers trailing the defending national champions 9-7. But they have very much been competitive through the first 45 of this one. Fred MacArthur said, we're going to find out right away where our team is. He said he called Tampa the bar, and they have been for a long time. You feel like this program's been going in the right direction over the last 12 months, and boy, what would a season-opening win against the defending national champions do? A team they've beaten once, and that came back in March of 2018, the first time the Spartans ever came to Panther Field. And that really set in motion for what was, to that point, probably still is the most successful season in Panther history. The Panther team that came oh so close to winning the SSC championship that year in the regular season. And it really started that day with that upset victory over Tampa. Imagine if he can get one here today. Well, Tampa had the scoring advantage in the first two quarters, 3-1 and 4-3. Panthers outscored them there 3-2. Can they close? Can the Panthers find a way to close this? No. First thing's going to be they got to beat Blake Ulmer first, who has 14 saves through three quarters. There's Turpak with a shot. It was a bit wide and it was on a bounce. Ulmer wasn't going to take any chances anyway. And he'll feed along here, and this could be something for the Spartans. Boy, just great movement, and that move is going to be finished off by Birch. A phenomenal run there. It went from Ulmer to Cannon to McEnany, and then Birch finished it for his first of the day. The junior from Brielle, New Jersey, puts it home, and the Spartans' lead is up to 10-7, which matches their largest of the day. And Tech have their work cut out now. Oh yeah, 3-goal deficit's hard enough in the fourth quarter. When you're playing arguably the best team in the country, it's that much harder. Face off here, and that is going to go to Poma, and Tampa might have another here, but that's going to be an errant pass to McEnany out of bounds. Poma were trying to get it right off the draw. Tampa have a couple of those today. Panthers do have the overall advantage in faceoffs. Make that now 12-8. Panthers have actually outshot the Spartans 32-31, and in terms of shots on target, it's 22-19. Panthers have scored both times with the extra man. Tampa 0 for 2. Tampa are 14 of 15 in clearances. Tech are 11 of 14 as that one hits the post from Miller. That might have had Francisco beat. 12 turnovers by the Spartans, 10 by Florida Tech. Panthers have caused 6. The Spartans have caused 5. Panthers will be going left to right on your screen here in this fourth quarter. Sun right in our face as it's just about a half hour from sundown. This is Bolish. Into traffic and a high one there from Miller. Tampa did have a man back there in Kilkowski. They'll keep possession with 39 to shoot. Physical with Sam Balch. Trying to feed there and another one. And that'll be Birch's second of the quarter. And the Spartans have their largest lead of the day at 4 goals. It is 11-7. And it might be all too much here for Florida Tech. And you just get that feeling with Tampa that when they really want to put the gas on, and it looks like they've put their foot down now. It'll be Griffin Martin to handle the face-off X here. Actually, no, I thought that was Griffin Martin. That's actually going to be Jack Morano, who we saw a lot of last year. Palma wins it anyway. They send ahead for Miller. Here's Day, who's got one on the afternoon. And if you're Tampa, you don't want to, maybe not quite yet go into a stall, but you can see them starting to take a little bit of the air out of the game. Met by Matt Josephson. Back into the middle for Fitzpatrick. It's Bolish in front of his own bench. Kilkowski. Over it goes for Miller. Josephson dealing with Miller. Bolish. Good movement here from Tampa. Miller's going to make his run, and another save by Jax Francisco. That's his 10th of the day. They try to come back on the rebound, and another save from Francisco. And I think they're going to blow the play dead because there needed to be a shot clock reset. And there is a Panther down near the goal. Clock is stopped with 11:56 remaining. I'm looking to see who that might be for Florida Tech. Well, I see a couple people going off here, and we might have a double penalty. Balch is off. Well, I see McEnany taking a knee for Tampa, and now Balch doing the same for Florida Tech. So we might have matching penalties here. Still can't see who that is for Florida Tech. And a reminder, we'll have and the player down for Florida Tech, that's going to be Matt Josephson, the junior from Lindenhurst, New York. Transfer from Nassau Community College. He'll leave on his own power. And we'll see who comes in to replace him. I believe that's Elliot Yaku. Graduate student, transfer from Marquette, originally out of Homewood, Alabama. So another player who got an extra year. Mentioned the Panther women at 7:30 tonight. Still play on the Rick Stotler Field grass for the first time. They take on Flagler, who were the preseason pick in the GSC. Should be an interesting matchup there. The Saints in year 2 of their program. It'll be year 5 under Mackenzie Rafferty. Women also had a strong close to their season last year as well. 11:56 remaining, so it's an unsportsmanlike on McEnany. Be 30 seconds, but Balch with a penalty as well, so we'll see. But Tampa retained possession, 54 to shoot. Spitting away and firing, and Fitzpatrick had Francisco beat, but it hit the crossbar. Scooped up by Wessel. And on it goes to Yaku. He'll make the run. He's going to go right at Stoll, and instead lays off for Razgani, and now Yaku will head back over to the other side as Colin Stewart will take his spot. So it was matching unsportsmanlike by McEnany and Balch, and actually that penalty has since expired. Thinking about making the run there for Florida Tech was Stetcher. Instead goes to Cart. I'm going to do battle here with Day. You swing for Patrick Stewart. We haven't seen a lot of him today. There's DePlanky. Nate with 2 today. And an errant pass from Osgani out of bounds intended for Stetcher. And the Spartans will take over with 10:53 remaining. This goes over to Trajan Cannon, product of R.J. Reynolds Magnet School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where it goes for Fitzpatrick. Well, the interesting thing with Tampa is they've found different ways to produce today. And they've gone up against what's been a good performance by Jax Francisco. Shot wide, and there was a whistle even before the shot, which was wide from Fitzpatrick. But I say this because lead scorer, you got McEnany with 2, Kilkowski with 2, Birch with 2, and then Badeau with 1, Bolish with 1, Fitzpatrick, Pascarella, and Day all with 1. And this was a Tampa team last year that had multiple 40-plus goal scorers. So it's not necessarily a one-man team, and I think that's going to be a penalty on the Spartans. That's going to be on Kilkowski, who took a swipe at Balch. So Florida Tech can play this however they want. They know they got the extra man coming, but if you're Florida Tech, you still want a goal here too. Work it behind the net for DePlanky. And back out for Colin Stewart. Meeting him will be Gelblin. Try to get it to Razgani in traffic. It's going to be picked up by Ulmer, and that will blow the play dead. It's going to be a penalty on Tampa. It's going to be on Kilkowski with 9:30 remaining. There is a slashing penalty on Kilkowski, and I think we'll get at least 30 seconds out of this. Roz over for Lozito. Here's Colin Stewart. Back it goes for Lozito. They'll swing over for Roz again. Lozito had the room there, didn't take the shot. Stewart, over it goes. Card would have been a tough angle, and it caught the post and out of bounds. But Cart was the closest to it, so Florida Tech will keep possession as the penalty has expired for Tampa. Pollock back on now, still looking for his goal, first goal as a Panther. Same for Lozito. Into trouble. They were trying to find Stewart, and instead coming away with it was Badeau, senior from San Diego. Tampa moving quickly here. They got a look here from McEnany. The shot was wide. I don't know if Francisco got to stick to that or not. He's got 11 saves tonight. Tampa will keep possession with 8:27 to go as the sun starts to dip behind the trees. Here's Kilkowski, just finished serving the penalty. Tampa will make a change as coming off his day. Over for McEnany. Swung now for Miller. 30 seconds to shoot here for the Spartans, and I kind of get the feeling that they're not worried about that. I think if you're Tampa here, you're trying to burn time. Well, they did both there. Owen Miller had been searching for a goal all afternoon, and he got it. And that might be too much for Florida Tech to overcome today. With 7:48 to go, it's now a 5-goal Spartan lead. They've scored 3 here in this fourth quarter. Tech have yet to get on the board. Still waiting to see a winner on the face-off here. And it's going to go to Tampa on here to be a violation for Florida Tech. Fitzpatrick got the assist on that goal there. Fitzpatrick's got 2 assists, and so does Kilkowski. And a late flag, and that's going to be on Florida Tech, and that's going to be on Connor Young. Tampa with all the momentum in the world right now, and now they'll be working with a man advantage. Well, Florida Tech, you could say, at least for the first 3 quarters of this game, were right there with the best team in the country. And now it's finding a way to close that last 15. And also, if this is their starting point, be interested to see what the finishing point will be. I have a feeling that this could be a good Florida Tech season here in 2023. You're obviously not going to be happy if you don't come back here, but playing against one of the best teams in the country, they are not that far away. Great work there between Wessel and Balch, and getting tripped there was Barlotta. Spartans will keep the possession. That was a 30-minute delay of game penalty on Connor Young. That penalty has since expired. Spartans continue to dominate the possession here. It's Fitzpatrick. Back out it goes to Miller, looking for his second. They were teeing up Bashaw, and the shot was high. Shot clock will reset to 60, and that's just fine by Tampa. They'll continue to burn time. Really say here, we're about 8.5 minutes through the fourth quarter as Miller gets his second, and then a flag at the end of the play. And you would think that Florida Tech really had 2 Two real sustained attacks here in the fourth quarter through the first 8.5 minutes. We'll await the penalty. 6:33 remaining in this one. It's now a 13-7 lead for Tampa. That's 2 on the day for Miller. As we'll await to hear the penalty. And I think serving that for Florida Tech is going to be Elliot Yaku. And it was. It is a penalty on Yaku. And a timeout taken by Florida Tech with 6:33 to go. We'll take it with them. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is Florida Tech Lacrosse on the Florida Tech Digital Network. Welcome back on the Florida Tech Digital Network. Jerry Durney here with you with 6:33 to go, and it was a unnecessary roughness penalty on Elliot Yaku, so that's a 1-minute man advantage for Tampa with 6:33 to go, and yeah, that might be the game there. Leonard working on that faceoff there against Hunter Turner. Faceoff's almost even now as the Spartans have won 11, Florida Tech have won 12. A timeout going to be taken here by Tampa with 6:19 to play. Not sure why there. We'll keep it here. It's 2 goals now on the day for Owen Miller. Both have come here in the fourth quarter. Miller last year had 33 goals in 21 games and a 51-point season. They were led by Colin White, who had 72 points last year as a senior, and 51 of those were goals. 6:19 to go in this one. It looks like the Spartans will extend their winning streak to 22 games. And they ran the table last year on their way to their first national championship. Spartans' last loss actually came back on May 16th, 2021, when they lost in overtime of the national quarterfinal to Lenore-Rhine. Coming up on almost 2 calendar years, and really to anyone in this league who's watched Tampa, that's not a shock. Tampa last year beat Florida Tech in the semifinals of the SSC tournament 15-9, and beat Florida Southern 18-8. They got a bye in the first round of the NCAA tournament, then they avenged that loss to Lenore-Rhine. They beat them 13-11 in the quarterfinals, then beat Limestone 19-8 in the Final Four, and then defeated Mercy in the national championship game 11-7 in East Hartford, Connecticut. Tampa can just walk the time here as Balch will, or I should say Yaku will serve the penalty. We mentioned last year a national championship for Tampa. They reached the quarterfinals in 2021. Of course, no tournament in 2020. They reached the quarterfinals in 2019 and 18. Reached the Final Four in 2017. They lost to Limestone in the Final Four. And did the same in 2016 as well. Reached the quarterfinals in 2015. They got knocked out by Lake Erie. And lost to Limestone in the 2014 Final Four as well. So, beating Limestone last year in the Final Four had to be quite the release for this program that just had not been able to find a way through. They'll continue to burn as the penalty is released for Florida Tech and an errant pass. And Florida Tech are able to kill off the penalty, but another minute gone, and it's going to make the comeback that much harder on the day for Florida Tech. I mentioned the goal split between 4 from Rozgani, 2 for Duplanky, and 1 for Stewart. And the assists split between 1 for Jacob Turpak, 1 for Luke Pollock, 1 for Noah Stetcher, and 1 for Justin Cart as well. Cooper Leonard, his first game as the face-off specialist for Florida Tech, 11 out of 21. Moranto is 1 for 2 on the day. Loose ball in front of the Panther net here. It's going to be scooped by Turpak. Still got a lot of trouble to deal with. He'll hit the deck. Hitting the deck as well as Stewart, and there's the flag. See if Florida Tech can score here before they'll serve the penalty. You'd love to get a 2-for-1, so to speak. Here's Duplanky. He'll work against Day. Long pass on the other side for Pollock. Looking for his first Panther goal. This is Cart. He's getting mauled by Cannon. He'll make the run. And another save made by Ulmer. That is his 18th. And that'll stop play with 4:05 remaining. So it's a 1-minute slashing penalty on Badeau. Florida Tech will have a chance to cash in with 4:05 remaining. And they're down 6. And we got to about the 1-minute mark of the third quarter. This was an 8-7 game. And Tampa got that late goal at the end of the third, and they've done that a lot. Pascarella had that solo goal towards the end of the first. And then in the second quarter, Florida Tech had that goal waved off right before the break, and then Tampa scored at the buzzer. So you think you just cut those 3 out right there, it's a 10-7 game. And a turnover by the Spartans will allow Florida Tech to continue. Lazito. Pollock for Turpak. Into the middle here for Patrick Stewart, and the lost ball is going to be scooped up by Conley Stone. Freshman out of Summerfield, North Carolina, as the Spartans look to kill off the penalty. Pass was long here for Gebelin. Trying to win it back is Balch. Cart withstood a pretty good hit there. Gets it over to Lazito. Coming up on the final 10 seconds of the penalty. Florida Tech were 2 for 4 with the extra man today. And make that now 2 for 5 as the penalty is released. Roz over on the right side. He's going to be matched up against Thomas Gribben. That was over for Lazito. Back for Cart. 46 to shoot here for Tech. Stetcher. They really haven't gotten any good looks here. And it's going to be a turnover for Roz. I don't think he ever really could find the pass. That pass got fired into heavy traffic. Gebelin. Pass was deflected by Cart. Could be scooped up here by Barlotta, and it is. A long stick Mitty Jr. transfer from Mercer. Originally out of Bedford, New Hampshire. You see Day going off, and I see Gribben as well. Yeah, this might be a 2-man advantage. Well, the officials are huddling up right now. We'll see what the official word is here in just a moment. With 1:50 to go. So it's a conduct, or it's a cross-checking and a misconduct against Day. I think that might be an aggravated penalty there. But the Panthers are on the advantage with under 2 minutes to play. Owen Stewart over to Lazito. And now feeds for Pollock, and he's going to be manhandled there. Ball still loose. And it's going to be scooped up by Brad Leonard, senior from Bristow, Virginia. This is Cannon. And away from Cart. Pollock there to pick him up as well. He'll play it along the sideline as we come up on the final 60 seconds of this one. So we won't see you guys for about a month. Again, the Panthers' next home game will be Monday, March the 6th against the Wentworth Institute of Technology as Cannon knocks Rozgani's pass away. Roz on the turf again, and he's slow to get up. And, boy, I hope it's just a little bit of pain, and hopefully Roz is good. Any injury for Roz would be very detrimental to this team. Inside the final 50 seconds of this one. With it is Kenyon Birch, getting away from Riley Wagner, and the shot clock is behind the game clock, so the Spartans can just ice the game from here. A 4-goal fourth period and a 5-0 run to close it out. Really, maybe the biggest play in this game was the Kilkowski goal. Really, two of them. You have that goal by Kilkowski right before the end of the third quarter when it could have been a one-goal game going to the fourth. And then that swing right at the end of the first half where Florida Tech appeared to cut it to one. Goal got waved off, and Tampa scored right at the buzzer. Two moments that really kind of changed the course of the game as the final seconds will tick off. There's the horn, and this one is over. And the defending national champions extend their winning streak to 22 consecutive games here this afternoon in the 2023 season opener here at Panther Field in Melbourne. We'll take a quick look at the final stats of this one for Florida Tech. Again, the goal scorers, Rozgani with 4, Nate DePlanke with 2, Colin Stewart with 1, and the assist split up between Jacob Turpak, Luke Pollock, Noah Stetcher, and Justin Cart. For Tampa, 2 goals each for Luke McEnany, Harry Kilkowski, Matthew Bedeau, Bedeau and Bolish each with 1, Owen Miller and Kenyon Birch each with 2, and those two all came in the fourth quarter. Daniel Fitzpatrick and A.J. Pascarella and Jackson Day all with a goal each. 2 assists for Kilkowski, 1 for Miller, 2 assists for Fitzpatrick, 1 for Jackson Bashaw, and 1 as well for Charlie Ruas. Looking at the final team stats, Spartans outshot the Panthers 41-36. Panthers had more shots on goal, 26-24. 19 saves for Blake Ulmer, 11 for Jax Francisco in his first start as a Panther. Panthers were 2 for 4 with the extra man. Tampa were 0 for 4. 9 penalties served for Tampa, 5 for Florida Tech. Panthers won 12 out of the 23 faceoffs. Tampa executed 17 out of 20 clearances. Florida Tech were 14 for 18 in that department. Tampa had 18 turnovers, 9 were caused by the Panthers. Florida Tech had 16 turnovers, 9 were caused by the Spartans. So the Panthers fall to 0-1 on the year. And they will be back in action 2 weeks from tonight, a 7 p.m. start up in St. Augustine against the University of Flagler. Our next broadcast of Panther Men's Lacrosse will be on Monday, March the 6th. It'll be a 3:30 p.m. start here at Panther Field as they take on the Wentworth Institute of Technology. My name is Jerry Durney, signing off from Panther Field on the campus of Florida Tech in Melbourne, where once again your final score this afternoon, Tampa 13, Florida Tech 7. You've been watching Florida Tech Panther Men's Lacrosse on the Florida Tech Digital Network, a presentation of the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Good evening from Melbourne. We'll talk to you on March 6th.